Hi, welcome. My name is Dan DeSanto. I'm the liaison librarian to the counseling program, and I'm hoping to lead you through a little bit of a tutorial to our resources today. I understand that you are all students in research methods in counseling via an online format, and so I thought I would take the time to go through and sort of introduce you to what the library offers you. And in following sessions, we'll talk a little bit more about how to use some of our databases to your best advantage and how to manage the citations that you find for your articles. But today, this is sort of a top level overview. And I like to start and end every presentation I do by showing you the help that the library can offer you. If you ever get stuck with a research question or you feel like you can't find the types of resources that you're looking for, or you just need help maybe honing down your paper topic or your research question that you're asking in your paper, you can go here to Ask a Librarian. And all of these buttons will take you to the same page. This is the library web page, so library.uvm.edu. And if you have a question, you can click any of these and it will take you to the following page. And you can ask a question in multiple formats. If you click here, in-person and in-depth help, you can fill out a form and make a consultation or set up a consultation. That will probably come to me since I'm the liaison to counseling. I'll pop up my contact info, ddesanto@uvm.edu or 656-5728. You can either email me or give me a call, and I'd be happy to set up a time where we could maybe talk via the phone and talk a little bit more about your paper topic or the problem that you're having in your research if you're having a problem. The number you see here goes to our reference desk. You can always call us if you have a question. Our hours are posted at the library webpage at the top of the screen. You can see hours today. If you click See All Hours, you'll get all of the hours, including reference desk hours. So let me go back. There are other ways to ask a question. You can email us here, and you will get a form to fill out with your email question. You can text us, 802-503-1703. We respond to text questions, or you can chat us online. And if you see the message that says the Bailey Howe reference desk is online, you can simply type in that box and your message will come to us and we'll do some live chat with you. So lots of different ways to ask a question. I encourage you to please ask. And if you have a more lengthy question, please do contact me and we can chat with each other. So I'll go back to the library webpage and show you one other thing that is crucial to what you're doing. Because you're all off campus, you need to know about our Connect from Off Campus button. It's here in the red bar. Before you begin working to find articles or really use any of our library resources, because you're off campus, I would suggest clicking Connect from Off Campus. If you've already logged into your email or logged in some other way to campus, it should recognize you as a UVM affiliate. But sort of best practice to just click here and connect from off campus before you even start your research. So that's the other piece that I want to make sure you walk away from this session with. First, the ask and connecting from off campus. The other introductory pieces I'd like to cover are some of these links on this front page. We're not going to get to all of them, obviously, but some we will get to in other modules, but I'd like to give you again that top level overview. So I'll start over here under Find. You can see we have finding books, finding articles, journal titles, course reserves, and our database trials. So we'll start with books, and I'd like to lead you through a little bit about how to use our catalog in maybe a more sophisticated way than you might on your own. So I'm going to click in here to Books and More, and that brings up this page. And here there are links to our catalog. like to also point out that in any of our pages, there's this red bar at the top. You can always get back to the library catalog in this red bar. There's a link here. And there's also sort of a quick box up here. If you know a title or you know an author, this is a great place to plop it in and change your drop down to title or author. And we'll take a look at the full catalog to begin with. So I thought we'd start maybe by looking at a quick search. Quick search, you can search by title, keyword, title begins with. The difference there is that if you know an exact title, you would want to search with title begins with. If you don't quite know exactly what the title is, your keyword title search may be a better option. So you can think of begins with as exact. Author, journal title. Often a big mistake people make is they'll throw an article title in and search for an article here. This is not the place to do that. This is if you're trying to find a journal and see if we have that journal and for what years. Subject heading and keyword, I'll explain in just a minute. There's a very distinct difference between searching for a keyword and searching for a subject heading. And you can also search by call number here. Guided keyword searching, this middle option, gives you some more flexibility in your searching. So you can not only search for one thing, but if you don't know that an object exists, if you don't know that a title exists, and you're just sort of seeing what we own for school counseling, you could try school counseling here, and adolescent here. If you're looking for school information about school counseling and adolescent or adolescents, you could do some searching here and add some flexibility into your searching. So this is a much better option if you're just trying to see what we have on a topic. Let's actually just go back and do adolescent and see what we get. So we got 15 results in our catalog, 15 books that have the word school or as a phrase, school counseling and adolescent somewhere in the record for the book. So a keyword search searches everything. If we just go in and look at a record, it's searching all of this, anything that appears in the record, anywhere. Keyword search searches that. This happens to have a very, very extensive record. Most records do not look like that. Let's look at another one. Health promotion throughout the lifespan. This is more typical. So when you are searching with a keyword search, you're searching again anything that appears anywhere in the record, anywhere. When you're searching for a subject, you're only searching these phrases, these subject phrases. And that means that someone has gone in here and read this book, and they have assigned the book these subject headings. Librarians, catalogers, do this work. They assess what a book is about. So someone has said this book is about health promotion, nursing, and medicine/preventative. So when you're searching a subject, you can get very specific with your subject headings. You can also, when you're looking at a record, click on a subject heading that you think is a good one, health promotion, and you can get all of the other titles that are tagged with that subject heading, health promotion. You can see here that we have 105 titles that have the subject heading health promotion. So that was an example of a guided keyword search doing school counseling and adolescent. And this is an and search, meaning that in order for it to show up in our result list, the record has to have school counseling and adolescent, both of those somewhere in the record. If we change that to an or search, now we're searching any item that has either school counseling or adolescent as a that appears somewhere in the record. And you can see we went from 15 to 1,901. So what we're doing is sort of expanding with the OR search to either of these terms. When we're doing an AND search, we're saying it has to have both of these terms. So our last tab here is a Course Reserves tab, and you can use this to find any material that your instructor has put on Course Reserves here at the library. Oftentimes that will be an electronic course reserve. Instructors also opt to just put it up on Blackboard, and that seems to be a little more common now. But if for some reason your instructor said to you, I saw on Course Reserve at the library, go to the library website and find it, you would click on Instructor and find your instructor. You could also click on your course and narrow down that way. And then you'll get a list of the items that have been put on reserve for your course. So those are the three types of searches in our catalog, and I'll bring us back to the library's homepage. Back at the library's homepage, we'll go back in. We just looked at the catalog. I'm going to go into Books and More one more time, and I'd like to talk just a bit about the other options here below Library Catalog, specifically WorldCat. So WorldCat is a great resource to find not necessarily what the University of Vermont owns. Our catalog is for that, but rather you can find what exists sort of in general out there. And also WorldCat shows you, if a book exists, what libraries have that book. So I'd like to just poke into WorldCat. I would suggest you use, there's another version, but I'd suggest you use worldcat.org. So WorldCat's a very interesting place to sort of poke around. I'll search for a couple of books, so we'll just switch our tab to books. And I'm going to do the Handbook of Multicultural Counseling. And I'm going to do search books. And it's the first one that pops up, so we can see that this title does exist. Maybe I found a reference to this book in something I was reading. You can click on it. And as long as you're logged in via the login from off campus, you should be able to see that you can search the catalog at the UVM library, so you will have that look back to our catalog. It also shows you that we actually do own this book, and it's here. Other colleges around here, it sort of finds where you are and looks at the other colleges in the area. SUNY College Plattsburgh, Goddard, Linden State. It's a pretty popular book. Let's just go back and do another search for a different title. So I'm going to do the ACA Encyclopedia of Counseling. So you can see that the ACA Encyclopedia of Counseling pops right up, and then if we look down, you can see that we don't own this item. You can interlibrary loan an item as a distance education student, and I will show you in a minute how you can do that. Also, if Champlain College or St. Michael's College owns a book that we don't own, and you happen to be in the Burlington area, if you have your student ID card, with your student ID card, you can go to Champlain or St. Mike's and borrow books from those libraries as well. We have reciprocal borrowing at those two libraries. So that's just a note. So WorldCat is a great resource for you to see what's out there. We'll just back out. Those are the two big resources for books that you're going to be using: the library catalog and WorldCat. So the next thing I'd like to show you is the Articles and More link. And we'll go into this much more in depth. We'll be doing a much more extensive looking for articles module in a little bit. But here I just want to give you an idea and an overview of where it is and how to use it. So if you click on Articles and More, The most common mistake here when folks are looking at this page, and this lists all of our databases and some other electronic resources that we offer. Folks look at this and think, these are all the databases you own, as we scroll down this list on the left-hand side. If you look at the top, these are just our general and multidisciplinary databases. These databases are cross-listed in a number of different areas, but it's certainly not everything we own. We own much more than this. We've just pulled these out because these databases cover a number of different disciplines. If you want to really get a better idea of what's going to be useful for you, you should look here on the right-hand side of the page. And you can see the tab highlighted Browse by Subjects. There's Browse by Title and Browse by Subjects. It defaults to Browse by Subjects, so we don't have a counseling heading here, but counseling lives in a few different places. I would suggest that you look at education and psychology as sort of your starting points. You might also poke into social work or sociology in your research, but let's take a look at the psychology heading. And under each of these tabs, you're going to or under each of these links, you're going to get some suggestions for databases that you search to find articles on your topic. Communication Abstracts, Ovid Medline. PsycInfo is very, very useful, and as I'll talk about later, it has a limit for empirical studies, and I think the type of research you're going to be doing is very heavy in empirical evidence and those types of studies. So PsycInfo is going to be a very good one for you in this class. Web of Science will also be helpful. So we start our list with databases, some reference sources if you needed to look something up in a psychology dictionary. We have those types of, we have the Dictionary of Psychology and Social Sciences. And at the very bottom here, these also are very helpful. There's a psychology research guide, but there's a counseling research guide that it's been put together specifically for the counseling programs. And that's actually me, and my contact info is there again, 656-5728. And this is kind of a quick overview of what I'm talking about today. You can see that there's a link for finding books and dissertations. That has our catalog. It has WorldCat. Finding articles. We've listed a few databases that are going to be helpful for the field of counseling. ERIC and PsycInfo are right at the top. ERIC is an education database. Managing information and style guides. There's some information here about two citation softwares, EndNote and Zotero. Zotero I'm going to be talking about more extensively in another module. So we'll get to Zotero and what it is and how to use it. But for now, I'll just say that that information lives there as well. So let me go back. And back and back. So again, this is a very broad top-level overview, but you can go to Browse by Subjects and get an idea of the best article databases to use, as well as some guides to doing research in that discipline. If you know a database exists, you can also go to Browse by Title. So let's say we wanted to just go to PsycInfo. You could go to Browse by Title and P and scroll down and know that PsycInfo is here at the bottom. And just pop right into it. And again, we'll be doing more extensive searching of the database, probably PsycInfo, in another module. So that's sort of an overview to the articles section. So not to overwhelm, I do want to cover a few more things from this top-level library homepage, again, library.uvm.edu. I do want to show you the Interlibrary Loan Request link. It is here under Services, Interlibrary Loan. And that will pop up this page. And here you want to identify yourself as a UVM distance education student. Don't click UVM students, faculty, or staff. You are students, but you want to identify yourself as a distance education student, because if you don't and you request something that we have here at the library, which may be a question you have, can I order something from the library and will you send it to me as a distance ed student? Yes, if we have something in our catalog that you would like us to send to you and we own it here at UVM, we will send it to you. you would just need to fill out this sort of interlibrary loan request. This is usually used for materials, for us to order materials from another library, but you as distance ed students can order things from our library this way too, and we will send them to you. So you'll click on Distance Education Student and click Go. And it's going to ask you for a username and password. So your request becomes part of a account that is much like, UPS, or if you order shoes from Zappos. We have a similar system where you can do a little bit of tracking of where your request is, but you do need a username and password. If you've never used our system before, you're going to have to click here, First Time ILLiad Users. I'll show you what that looks like. If you click on that, it will ask you if you agree to all these things. You'll read it very, very carefully and then click here. Then New User Registration, you would just fill out this registration page. And then you would be set to go. I'll put in my information. And when you do get to this page, you'll see on the left-hand side that there is a new request box. And you can do a request for a book chapter, a journal article, microfilm, thesis or dissertation. You just choose the appropriate thing that you're looking for. Again, you as distance education students are in the unique position to use this form to request both items that we own and items that we will get for you from another library. If you were here on campus and you filled out this request for something we owned, we would tell you, please come to the library and get it. But you don't have that luxury, so we will send it to you. And that is a little overview of how you would order items via interlibrary loan. If you have questions about being a distance education student and using interlibrary loan to get materials, under Services you can click Interlibrary Loan Requests, and then on the right hand side of the page under Quick Links you can see that there's a Distance Education FAQ, and this page gets into more of the nitty-gritty about ordering things for interlibrary loan as a distance ed student. One of the final things I'd like to show you is research guides by subject. Again, I mentioned that research guide for counseling. You can get there here under research guides by subject, and you can see that we have research guides for many, many disciplines, and counseling is right there. And that will bring up that same counseling research guide. So I'll probably end there for today as sort of a top-level overview. There's lots more information about the library and things we offer, but for right now, I will encourage you to poke around our webpage at library.ubm.edu. Take a look at our catalog, so library catalog here. Remind you to please connect from off campus when you start your research. And finally, I said I like to begin and end my sessions by talking about our help. Ask a Librarian. Remind you that you can ask us a question in many different ways. It's both up here, and it's the first item under Help. Any of these icons take you to this page where you have multiple ways, either calling, chatting, texting, emailing us. You have many ways to get in touch with us. So please don't hesitate. And once again, I will pop my contact information on the screen, ddesanto at ubm.edu, 802-656-5728. Don't hesitate to contact me with questions as well. Thank you very much, and we will have two more modules, one about going further with finding articles and developing a search strategy for articles, and another about managing citations and using a tool that we touched upon today called Zotero. Thanks.